We are in America. This is not owned by... You understand?
In just 11 seconds, there's already a long list of wrongdoing from this guy.
I don't care, like, I mean, but honestly, you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. The whole world. Come on. Okay, all right, okay, guys, I got it. I understand where you're coming from. Hey, we got a guy passed out. You're right.
The man, appearing to realize this isn't going according to plan, appears to maybe back off. Here's a first-hand account of what went down.
And while we were waiting in line, we saw these two Caucasian males right in front of us on the waiting list. The one that was in the video was clearly under the influence of something. They were super loud and obnoxious because they sat at the table right next to us. Everything was going fine until it was time to pay. And unfortunately, one of the Caucasian males left, who was more sober, and the only one that was left was an inebriated one. And he did not have card or cash, only Apple Pay. And the server told him they did not accept Apple Pay. And he got all frustrated, asked to speak to the manager, which is the person you saw in the video.
This creator witnessed the entire thing and recapped on his TikTok account.
The Karen got very offended, as they do, and threw a fit in the middle of the restaurant, screaming, shouting, saying all these racist stuff in the middle of a BCD in Irvine filled with almost all Asian customers. As seen in the video, the manager was very calm, very professional, not trying to escalate anything, trying to calm down the nerves, de-escalate the situation. At the end of the night, the customer just drunkenly ran off, left his phone, which was more than enough for the manager and the rest of the servers. If any of you have worked in the food industry or service industry, you know how difficult it is to deal with such customers, but the manager was so professional, handled it so smoothly that there was no need for us to intervene or jump in, as we did not want to escalate the situation, especially considering the fact that the customer was under the influence.
OECD wrote in their piece, there is evidence that racial/ethnic minorities have been particularly affected by the pandemic in domains other than labor market as well. In the few OECD countries with data, COVID-19 mortality rates for some racial/ethnic minorities have been more than twice those of other groups. And while mental health deteriorated for almost all population groups on average in 2020, gaps by race and ethnicity are also visible. The relationship between well-being, race, and ethnicity is complex, and a broader range of socio-economic factors, including living and working conditions, as well as deep-seated forms of racism and discrimination, can help explain why different racial and ethnic minorities have experienced divergent outcomes during COVID-19. And it's not just in the restaurant biz. A Rutgers study conducted by Charlotte Thomas Hawkins, an associate dean and associate professor of nursing science who led the study, found for nurses of color in our study, workplace racism and COVID-19 represented a dual pandemic. That is, their experiences and worries were synergized to the detriment of their emotional well-being. The study concluded that non-white nurses reported significantly higher levels of emotional distress and overall worry about COVID. A higher percentage of non-white nurses, 61%, were very worried about COVID compared with the percentage of white nurses, 41%, who were very worried. Non-white nurses perceived more negative racial climates, with black nurses reporting the most negative climates. Non-white nurses experience more racial microaggression experiences, and black nurses experience the highest number of racial microaggressions compared with all other racial groups.
This lady made our dinner awkward.
Let's go. I'm from Mongolia. Watch this, my bro.
Everyone's been to the style of a restaurant, right?
Oh, okay. Kobe. One time for Black Mamba.
Watch what this character does to ruin the fun.
R.I.P.
You gotta bring the black man into this.
Say what?
You gotta bring the black man into this.
Black man, what? And me?
Come on, Kobe.
Yeah, Black Mamba.
That was his nickname.
Funny, harmless stuff, right? Well,
Yeah, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, leave him alone.
No. When you make a shot, you say Kobe, because that's for him.
Instead of just stopping and taking the L, she continues.
Yeah, that's how.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said one time for Black Mamba, R.I.P. Like, getting it? Y'all getting it?
I get it. I got it the first time.
Alright, alright. It's not insult or anything. You know what I mean?
She's then thrown a second chance, but nothing changes.
Yeah, that's how.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said one time for Black Mamba, R.I.P. Like, getting it? Y'all getting it?
I get it. I got it the first time.
Alright. It's not insult or anything.
There's no insult. She just does not get it. How don't you get it? I like the way Distractify wrote, going to a hibachi restaurant is part meal, part pageantry. There's an expectation that your chef is going to grill up your food on that hot plate using a variety of flashy quick movements, onion towers, and maybe even a few personal quips, jokes, or anecdotes of their own in the process. Even if the chef is cooking up your grub right in front of you, as the ones at hibachi joints do, you probably shouldn't be harassing them just because folks tend to do things better when they're having a good time. Amen. A happy chef will have you taste the love. So being miserable around them and forcing them into awkward situations isn't doing you any favors. The hibachi worker, as I'm sure we all were, taken aback by this Care's comments. Black man what? He tells the woman that Black Mamba is Kobe's nickname. But the customer still appeared to not like the fact that he was referencing the Lakers star player. Leave him alone, she says. The uploader told Nextshark, I believe the chef's name is BJ. I started off by recording the food being cooked, and then he encouraged me to record him because he was going to put on a show and have lots to say for everyone on the internet. He also uploaded 3 more videos of the hibachi chef to his TikTok, one of which shows BJ sharing a drawing he did of Kobe and Gigi before delivering more jokes to lighten the mood around the dinner table at the end of the night. Everyone at the table was laughing and having a good time, the uploader added. Many viewers commented on the positive energy of the chef and the woman's ignorance. One user wrote, man showed straight respect for Kobe and she is mad. So she thought he just randomly mentioned Kobe. Some people, ... said another. The TikToker ensured that the hibachi worker kept the sitch under control. The night ended well with good spirits and laughter.